Hey, it is January the 1st, 2018. And y'all, I thought I'd take a quick moment out and we could have a story time. I'll tell you about what pretty much just happened to me right now before I cut on the camera. I went to Dollar General and I got some things that I needed, for stuff that I need. And I was at Dollar General and I was at the front of the counter. And I saw before I walked up there, I saw some squeeze toys, right? Towards the front, you know how there's all sort of toys and candies for the children. Squeeze toys. Caught those at the front. And they're looking like food items, okay? And the thing is, it reminded me of something a few days ago. I was hanging out with my nieces and we were shopping around and stuff, and we saw some of these things. They're squeeze toys. They look like food, and they told me that the squeeze toys, in fact, that are made like food, those are actually very popular these days. I want to bring up this story because you'd be surprised at what goes below the radar and what actually is viral in lots of senses that adult people, we just don't even understand. We don't see it happening, right? This is one such thing that I might tell you that you might not hear anywhere else unless you have a child and they come across some of these things that I'm talking about. All right, so there was these food squeeze toys, and I'd seen these before. I mentioned it to the Dollar General lady. I say, it seems like these squeeze food toys are all the craze amongst the children. This is what I've been hearing. And she said, we were just talking about that actually. I said, yeah. And then she said, yeah, we were just talking about that with the lady who just came in here, the squeeze toys. I said, dang, man, it must be going viral. Everybody's talking about it. And so I took another look at the food shaped squeeze toys. I took a look at them and I said, they're scented. And I was like, wow, I didn't even see that coming. They're scented. Apparently they're scented like either like what they look like or maybe something else. They're scented. The squeeze toys. Now, I remarked to the lady at the counter, I said, dang, I didn't realize, but they're scented as well. And the lady said, yeah, actually we were talking about that. You squeeze them, they're scented and everything. I said, wow, it's interesting, these weird toys that they're coming up with. And she said, yeah. The lady at the counter said, yeah, we were just talking about, the lady was talking about how they're very good for autism. All right, so that obviously caught my ear. I said, good for autism. And she described it, she said, yeah, if they get stressed out, gives them something to squeeze. And of course it smells good, so that's another something that would, entertain them. To which, already things are going off in my head. Here's what I got to tell y'all about this toy that I come into contact with. Of course it would. Of course it would relax, someone, that you see with autism. Maybe they're getting stressed out. Maybe they're becoming overwhelmed. Of course this scented toy would absolutely work. It absolutely would. All right. So the thing is, I did a little research, came to find out that these toys aren't specifically all marketed towards autistic people, but it is widely known in the squeeze toy world that it pretty much is, especially the scented ones, they're targeted towards autistic folks. And I want to draw attention to that because that's very interesting. Now, you gotta already know that autism awareness and autism acceptance run rampant. I don't think people even know what they're talking about when they're talking about that sort of stuff. All right. Like I said, and I conceded, obviously this scented toy that looks like food could be very, very well used to distract and perhaps calm down an autistic person that you see that's, in a fit of rage or whatever, becoming overwhelmed. It could do that. I'm not saying that it couldn't, but at the same time, what I had to stress is that's interesting, right? Because basically, here's the long and short of it, and I don't know everybody's story and I don't know everybody's relationship, but the long and short of it is Here's a toy that you use for an autistic person. You brought them into an environment that is displeasing to them. They don't want to be a part of that environment, and they're finding a lot of stress involved. And so you buy this toy, perhaps for your autistic child, and you give it to them, and they squeeze it, and they become distracted by it. They feel good. They start to smell it. It smells just like the food that it looks like. All right, it's kind of interesting. They do get very well distracted, but that in essence is what it is. It's a rope-a-dope. It's saying, yeah, I brought you in this environment. This is where you belong now. You're stressed out by it. Why don't you just be quiet and squeeze this toy and smell it? All right, why don't you just go smell that toy for a while? Basically, is what it is. And I'm not trying to over-exaggerate, but basically, in all fairness, it is an act of, here's your dang toy, go squeeze it and smell something. All right, like, stop bothering me. But at the same time, what I want to stress out is that these autistic people in question who are stressing out, they're in the wrong environment. You put them in the wrong environment, and that is the problem. And so you give them a squeeze toy that they could smell all day. And you know what the thing is? I was doing some research about this and kind of find out, it's not like the first toy that actually promotes, in fact, I would say encourages autism in a certain way. In no way am I saying that calming down a person and relieving a person of their stress is a bad thing. What I'm saying is these are very simple toys geared to, in a sense, promoting autism, promoting stimming, and promoting becoming obsessed over something that's very sensory oriented, such as this squeeze toy. It looks like food. You squeeze it. It smells like food. Things of this nature is kind of sensory oriented. It's very autism oriented in that sense. That's how that works. And kind of find out, obviously it's not the first toy. You take a short look back, and here's what I've always wondered. Fidget spinners. I look at fidget spinners and I understand it looks cool for a second. It looks kind of cool, all right? The fidget spinner. But even I look at it, and I don't know about y'all, but how I feel about the fidget spinner is, who cares? Who really cares? It doesn't excite me or entice me at all. But that's yet another kind of a toy, which is geared towards autism in a sense, because it's very overwhelming the way that it does what it does, and it looks how it looks. Some people get obsessed over it. I'm sure that some people got OCD over it. I'm positive. Thing is, it's geared towards over censoring yourself. Now, there's a lot of things out there that can over censor you, that people can use, that autistic people have been using to calm themselves down for a long time. And it can come from any sort of place, any sort of thing that you could use that maybe calms you down. You think about it, you feel it, and it maybe relieves anxiety. Nothing ever had to be made specifically geared towards an autistic kind of compulsive stimming. This stuff is actually geared towards it. All right, the toys that they be making, and I'm not saying the toys don't work. They absolutely do work. But at the end of the day, these toys, what they do is they kind of create, like I said, over the top sensory situations. But also note this: the child or the person at hand, they don't have to think at all critically at all. They don't have to create anything. They don't have to invent anything. They don't have to think about anything. All they have to do is, you pay $1, they get a fidget spinner, and they're doing that all day. They're like, ooh, fidget spinner. And meanwhile, they had to do nothing. You see the kind of behavior that this kind of encourages. All right, this is the kind of toy, that's what they're doing now. They're encouraging it, and it works very well. Don't get me wrong. All right, but at the same time, at the end of the day, it is like saying, here, little Robbie, shut the hell up. All right, because I have adult things to do, and I'm taking care of stuff, and we're going to be in whatever environment I want us to be in, and so therefore you shut the hell up, Robbie. Take your fidget spinner, you take your squeeze toy and smell it. You go smell it, Robbie, because I don't have time. Like, I'm an adult, and so we're going to be in the environment I choose. Even if you're displeased by it and you don't like it at all, I'm not going to second guess myself or even think about it. What I'm going to do is hand you a squeeze toy and tell you go smell it, and please be quiet. All right, that is exactly what it's used for, and it's very, very good at it. And all right, y'all, we're both deep up in the tribulation. It is January the 1st, 2017.